What's up, spooky people? It's time for another episode of the Spooky Corner. And today, we're going to be talking about the haunted subway in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Fun fact, Subway actually has the most locations out of any fast food chain in the world, which is crazy to me because I thought that title would belong to Mickey D's, but I guess not. Okay, I know this is not a fun facts about Subway video. I just thought that was a pretty interesting fact. Out of the 40-something thousand locations that they have though, we're going to be focusing on the one in Dodgeville, Wisconsin, because there are apparently a bunch of spooky things going on in there. Things like the door beeper going off even though nobody walked through the door and nobody was around the door. Stuff mysteriously falling off the shelves, cups getting smacked to the ground, employees having their names called, but when they would turn around to look and see who called their name, nobody would be there. And apparently there's some kind of strange smell going on in there. But I mean, are we just gonna jump to the conclusion that that's a ghost? We're just gonna ignore the fact that that's most likely those super fresh Subway ingredients? One of the craziest things that apparently happened there are the sandwiches cutting themselves, or the ghosts cutting these sandwiches. They say that sometimes the employees will be making a sandwich for themselves, like on their break or just kind of when it's quiet and dead, and they'll turn around and go do something else, and when they come back, their sandwich would already be cut for them, even though they know for a fact that they didn't cut it and their coworker didn't cut it. That's creepy, because that means that the ghosts are out here like holding knives and using knives, but at least they're using it on sandwiches and not on people. Probably the scariest report though is that of a creepy ghostly woman who stands at the register staring at employees, giving them dirty looks. They say it's the same woman at the register every time, and she's like a ghostly figure who just stares at the employees. What makes this even worse to me though is that when you work at Subway, to my knowledge at least, there's only 2 people on a shift at a time. So that means it's only you and another person, which means that at night or when it's dead and quiet, there's a lot of room for some creepy stuff to go on, especially at this location. Now, going back to the creepy ghostly lady at the register, her identity may not be a mystery because people believe that she is the spirit of a woman named Mrs. Forbes. This location does have a backstory. They say that back in the 80s, where the Subway stands today used to be a Harley Davidson shop owned by the Forbes, Mr. and Mrs. Forbes. They never give them a first name, they always just say Mr. and Mrs. Forbes. And on the night of April 13th, 1984, which was a Friday the 13th, they say that the Forbes were killed when their car was smashed into by a speeding car full of teenagers, which left them all dead on the scene. And ever since then, their spirits may still haunt the land that the Subway is on today. Why? I don't know. I don't know why they would still be there. I mean, maybe that's why they're over there smacking stuff around and causing trouble, because they're pissed off that it ain't their good old Harley shop anymore. That's pretty much all there is to say about this location, but I did find that there is another potentially haunted Subway, this one being in Ireland. This one is not as well known, but as I was reading up on the one in Wisconsin, I saw an article about this one that said that this manager at this one in Ireland put up a weird sign that read, "Ouija boards and seances are not to be performed at this shop. Haunt your own home. Thank you." And that has to be the greatest sign I've ever seen in any fast food, in any location ever, except for the one that's at the salon that my friend's mom goes to, because that one says, "Please do not kiss the employees." And there's always a reason for crazy signs like that. You know that some idiot actually did the thing that you're not supposed to do on that sign, which is, I mean, common sense. You're not supposed to kiss employees. I mean, really. In the article, the manager explained why she put up the sign, and she said that everybody believes that the 3rd floor of that building is haunted. So to deter any of the hooligans that work there from doing any seances, Ouija boards, or paranormal games, she stuck up the sign to make sure that none of them, heighten up the paranormal activity that's already there and make things worse. I don't know if that sign is still up because this article was published a while ago. Listen, all I'm gonna say is if me and my friends worked there, that wouldn't do a damn thing. We'd have been like, screw the sign. I always say that I would love to work in a haunted place because then I get the best of both worlds. I mean, I can go to work and like make money while I'm experiencing some creepy paranormal things and then go home and not have to deal with it. So that's all I really got to say about these haunted subways. We got the one in Wisconsin where there's apparently a whole bunch of stuff going down. We got the one in Ireland where there's not so much, and I think the managers would like to keep it that way. Now I will say there is no evidence on any of this stuff, no security footage, but I wish there was. I would love to see some security footage of a floating knife just cutting a sandwich in half. That would be insane. But I have been hearing about this subway in Wisconsin for a while now, so I would love to go get myself a little flatbread with some chicken teriyaki and some Doritos and see what's going down. You let me know 6 feet deep below in the comment section what you think about this. Do you think these subways are actually haunted? Would you ever visit them? I mean, I'm sure you would because nothing is happening to the customers themselves. Everything's happening to the employees. So would you work at one of these subways? And if this sign went up at your job, would you abide by the rules made by the manager, or would you break the rules and have some fun? Now that's all the time I got today for the Spooky Corner. Make sure that if you liked the video, you actually give it a like, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already to stay up to date. And of course, come back next time for some more spooky stuff.